Good evening! Welcome to our movie vlog. Tonight we're going to talk about Taken 2. Not to be confused with It Takes Two. That's a totally different movie. So anyway, Liam Neeson. He's a good man.
He might have beat people up. It's hard to tell, really.
We weren't sure whether he actually beat them up or not.
The action editing is a thing that isn't good.
It might cause epilepsy. Or it might cause a seizure due to you having epilepsy if you watch
it will cause you to have epilepsy.
No. The movie starts off, like, I'm not ruining anything, I'm just giving you guys, like, a little bit of the lowdown. Apparently, Lorraine, his wife, is going through some sort of harsh breakup with her husband, and some drama happens, and as a comforting factor, Liam Neeson's character, I can't remember what his name is, what's his character's name?
Actually, I have no idea.
Okay, whatever. It's Liam.
Movie,
who fucking cares? It's Liam Neeson. So Liam Neeson's character tries to console her and her daughter because they missed out on a trip because their douchebag, the spouse that she's breaking up with.
Yeah, they were going to go on a trip, and then he's like, for no reason, and I'm not even in this movie to give a single line, we'll just cancel this trip.
Cancel, bam!
Because that's my characterization is just douchebag.
Douchebag. That's it. So this douchebag is not even in the movie, and he cancels their trip to China or whatever. I don't really care. Liam Neeson's just, he offers, he's got a job that's going to be in Istanbul. So he offers them, he's like, you know, it's 3 days of work, and then, you know, on the third day when I'm done, you know, give me a call. And if you guys want to come down, you know, you can hang out in Istanbul, have a good time, whatever. Whatever. Kind of like he's trying to reconnect with his family. I mean, of course he didn't do that right off the bat from the first movie when he does all that shit for them. And okay, anyway. The plot's kind of just like any excuse to get all the family in the same place at once, so...
Yep, because it has to be all of them again.
Again.
And meanwhile, the father of Captain Tortured Pants is very upset that his son and like his son's like 6 or 7 or however many friends are all dead, and so he vows to have vengeance. And spend some time figuring out where Liam Neeson is, and then eventually finds out he's in Istanbul, so he's setting a whole thing up just as his family happens to show up.
So he's just like, I want all of them, and then the real shit goes down.
Also, head bad guy is clearly my favorite character, because there's a lot of scenes where he's quite clearly just sitting in a chair in a room, really bored, until someone calls him. It was like, I see the daughter. I was like, yeah, bring her too. They're just sitting there, and then someone else calls. It's like, they're getting away. He's like, I'll follow them. Goes back to sitting.
Yeah, just sit. He just sits there. It's not the worst movie that we've ever seen.
It's alright.
Yeah, it's not horrible. Yeah. I mean, generic action movie plot stuff. About it.
It's about the quality of what you'd expect from, like, I don't know, probably any given Van Damme film.
Yeah, I was just thinking that as well. With that, we should probably move on to the rest of the movie. So,
spoilers.
Spoilers. Alright, so we've pretty much talked about the first part of the movie already. So, opening of the movie, it opens with like the funeral in Albania, I guess is where they are, and the father vows revenge for the death of his son and the son's friends and whatever. And if you don't know who the son is, then he's talking about the guy that was in the electric chair from the first movie that Liam Neeson just left the current on and let him die. And then it goes on to, like, you know, the opening with Liam Neeson's character, like, waiting in the car outside for his daughter.
Which is not very interesting and just kind of drags on. It would have been better if they'd kind of gotten to the action a little sooner.
And the opening dialogues were kind of
There's way too much setting up how far apart they are as a family, and too much work to actually get them together in somewhere in Europe for this to happen.
Yeah. It was unnecessary because, I mean, the rapport and everything was built in the first movie. Like, yeah, you really didn't need to.
It felt like they were basically not trying to make a sequel so much as a remake almost.
Yeah, a shitty remake. He calls them because they haven't called him yet. And he's all just like, "Oh, they're not coming. I'm gonna be sad." Blah. And then they surprise him. They sneak up behind them. They're at the hotel and they're all happy. And the daughter is obviously trying to play Cupid and set up the mom and the dad so they can go and have their own day on their own. You know, the usual kind of stuff with split up couples and
of course they're followed by Albanians. Which leads to the first of many times when Liam Neeson screws over a cab or hired driver. In this case, it's the hired driver in their BMW, where he just basically chucks out and then gets in the driver's seat once he knows they're being followed, so that he can do all the fancy stunt racing through the streets.
Yeah, and he gives his wife, before he tells her to get out, he gives her all these directions and stuff that...
He gives her really, really complicated directions.
I would not be able to follow these.
You're going to go through, but act completely like you're a normal tourist. Don't act in any way out of the way. You're going to go 200 yards that way. You're going to make a left. After the left, you're going to make the right. After the right, you're going to make the next right. At the end, you're going to see someone in an orange shirt. When you pass the person in the orange shirt, you're going to make another right. Over there, you're going to go about
stairs.
20 feet. There's going to be stairs. You're going to go down the stairs. At the end of the stairs, you're going to cross the street. There's going to be a cab waiting for you. You're going to get in. It's going to take you back to the hotel.
I don't...
Meanwhile, she's all freaking out as he's telling her this. Because what's happening? What's it? So she got none of this.
Are you ready?
But apparently she did get it all and followed it all and was only, you know, thwarted at the end when there's a locked gate at the bottom of the stairs. And she's like, I could see the taxi, but no.
I don't.
Also, we have no idea that anyone was anywhere near her or had any idea where they were, because they were chasing him for like, well, he drove for another 20
Yeah,
blocks.
it's like, how the fuck do they even know where she is?
Yeah, but somehow they capture her as well as him. That just kind of happens off camera. Yeah, they're like one psychic dude.
It's Liam Neeson, so he has to have a reason for this shit. Whatever.
It shows he's always got a plan. He knows exactly where they are and the best way to get to a specific taxi stand.
Because he has remembered all of Albania. Yep. Or not Albania, sorry, Istanbul.
Yep, he knows every nook and cranny. He knows the sounds. He knows what kind of animals are around. He knows
and
everything.
Instruments.
Yep.
Notably instruments that guys play for hours.
In the exact same spot. The same thing, dude. Just like on his like tiny little cello. They get captured, and that seems kind of hilarious because there's a guy holding a gun to his wife. Well, he's holding a gun to another guy, and the other guy's holding a gun at him, as also that guy's apparently, like, hugging his chest. He's like, eh, pointing a gun at Liam Neeson. So Liam Neeson just, I'm going to call my daughter and have a long conversation. And he has to say specifically the title of the movie. It's like, we're
about to be taken, too.
Yeah, we're about to be taken. The two of us.
The two of us.
Taken. Two of us. Two taken. Taken. Two. Liam Neeson.
It's like, I'm clearly telling my daughter what to do now.
Yep, and how to escape.
And how to escape.
People after her. And they don't in any way like have the people who are going after the daughter hurry up or anything. They're just like, hey, go get her.
She's down at the pool and she gets the phone call and she leaves all her shit there and she goes up to Liam Neeson's room.
And of course, in his room is the other locked, more important part of his room, and she has to like go out on the ledge of the building and like sneak across and everything. And then two guys come out and they sneak and like they're like, oh, I'll go this way, you go that way, and they go through. Okay. And the one guy gets into where she is, like she's hiding in a closet. And just about like he's starting to open the door. The other guy bursts in the other room and sees who's clearly not in any way Maggie Grace, not a young girl in a bikini, but some dude in a white shirt like working at his laptop who's like middle aged. And he's like, there's a guy! There's a guy like bursts out the door. I was like, what the hell? And that guy comes out and like, shot some guy.
That seems stupid, but but really funny.
Calls her using his magical Tic Tac phone.
His magical Tic Tac phone, yeah, that he hides in his sock. I guess they didn't find this thing, and so he gets it and he somehow makes it up to his face and tries to call Sam. Sam doesn't pick up. Sam's like his friend that's in the business, whatever. And then he calls his daughter. That's the second person that he calls on this phone. It's like you...
He couldn't try like any of his other friends who are in like crazy government positions and could immediately get them help.
Yeah, and he's got them all on the list. Like, you see the list of people that are on this phone.
He just ignores them all.
I better call Kim.
At this point, I thought the movie was going to get awesome, and there was actually going to be Maggie Grace, like, bursting in and shooting everyone. That didn't happen.
No.
He does tell her, so that he can get, like, so that they can kind of pinpoint where he is on a map by when he can hear explosions, that she should just chuck some grenades out through the hotel window.
Yeah. He's just like, yeah, just throw some grenades.
So like she throws a grenade and blows up some dude's car, And then he's like, hears it. He's like, okay, I've pinpointed where I am using my awesome powers of Liam Neeson-ness. You know, he has her like grab a few more grenades and then run off to meet him, and then chuck some more to figure out exactly where they are compared to each other. And then she literally like blows up a water tower on top of someone's roof, and it just like drenches all these people in the street. They're just like, what the hell?
Yeah. It's like, no, it doesn't seem like anyone is coming to do anything about this.
Yep.
This whole grenade.
Yeah, the best is like they hear grenades, like, because as the people who've captured Liam Neeson and his wife are like just watching some soccer, and then they hear the grenades going off, and like the first one they're just like, well, whatever, just a grenade. And the second one is like, you should go check on the people down there. It's like, they're not throwing grenades, that's clearly outside. Why are you sending... Alright.
His wife's hanging upside down. She's been like cut open and like all that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yes. You think they're gonna cut her throat, which would actually be more interesting.
It's like this big drama's building up, and then
they're
all
like,
of a sudden
you're going to have to watch this, Nick. Just like
yeah,
little Nick.
Like, little Nick.
But now we're gonna turn her upside down. That means she's gonna die in a half hour.
I've watched 1,000 Ways to Die, and they explain on that show that if you hang upside down, you can die from it, but it takes a 30 hours or something like that.
It only takes 30 minutes if you got a little nick on you. But he manages to break his little plastic bond and get to her in time, but she's kind of out of it because of plot. Yeah, so she's just laying there like, what?
Yeah, he just leaves her there.
Yeah, so he leaves her to go save Kim. And then they steal a taxi. Once again. Yep. Actually, there was a third time.
There was a third time.
Yeah, it was in between, wasn't it?
Well, no, because remember when she's on her way there and he tells her to blend in, and she just like runs around the hotel and she steals
like, in like bare feet.
Yeah,
steals stuff from like the maid's locker room, runs away as someone's yelling thief after her.
There's a thief,
and then gets in a taxi, and then after she jumps out and doesn't pay and runs away.
Yeah, and then she's just running down this alley, not looking suspicious at all.
Then climbs up on a roof and chucks some grenades, and that's blending in.
Yeah, that character's great.
They don't get back to his wife in time, and like the two dudes show up and re-kidnap her.
The re-kidnapping.
And so then there's a car chase, which was actually pretty well done. I think it's the best action scene the movie has.
Yeah.
Where Maggie Grace has to drive as Liam Neeson shoots the people chasing them.
This girl has failed her driving test twice already.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this movie's kind of insane with how old it expects us to believe Maggie Grace is.
Apparently she's like 16, 17-ish.
I guess, because she's got she's got a boyfriend and she's never been in love. That's from the start of the movie. But she's failed a driving test a couple times. And she's like 30, so this doesn't really work.
Okay, the car chase, her driving was unbelievable, fact. And after that, driving
standard as well.
Yeah, driving standard. Like I don't think I could have done that. Like there's no way I could have done that actually. I can't drive stick, so and this girl doesn't even know how to drive, so. Yep.
Had no problem shifting ever. Was
no grinding.
Like, yeah,
no stalls.
Doing like 180 reversing into an e-brake turn and out racing trains. Like basically they crash through the embassy as the embassy's like shooting at them
with fucking 50 cal machine gun emplacements. Like okay,
and then he just phones the one guy. He's like, "Do something so we're not shot." And then next scene, he's just walking around outside, and you never see his daughter again until like the epilogue section. Yeah. So I guess it worked out, but anyway, he's using his memory of when he was kidnapped and tied up with a hood over his head in the back of a van, and the sounds he heard to figure out how to backtrack his way to find the other place where they've taken his wife, which, good thing it was the place that they had happened to drive by when they first kidnapped him, or else he'd be screwed. Yeah. But, yeah, he's like listening, he's like, oh, there's dogs, that's this part, and oh, there's birds, that's this part, and there's people working on metal, thank God they're still welding here.
And thank God that guy was still playing his little instrument.
Still playing his little string instrument, like 12 hours later.
Yep, it just worked out great for him because I mean, if he had just happened to go into someone's place, which was the wrong place, and killed a guy,
because the first guy,
would have been embarrassing.
He's just like there's basically just like a guy like leaning in there, like looking away from the street, just having a cigarette. He like sneaks in and just like chokes the guy. Luckily, it turned out the guy was in the right place, and that guy had like an MP5 or something on him. But he didn't know that. He was just like, "This might be it. I'm gonna choke that guy." Because Liam Neeson's like walking around trying to find people, and then he hears someone
use the action on their gun.
On their gun. So he drops down, and then the wall bursts with fire. But the thing is, it was basically just two guys in like this little like 5x10 room with automatic weapons who were like, "Let's shoot through that wall."
Yeah.
All right.
Because Liam Neeson is being quiet. He's not just running around.
There's no way to see out of this room that they're in.
No.
So they're just like, we're gonna shoot through this wall. Hopefully he's there.
Unless they had seen him like somehow and then decided to hit behind the wall and like just guess that he was there. That still doesn't make any sense.
We're only going to shoot through it at waist height.
Yeah.
No lower.
Yeah. Don't shoot low because people don't duck.
Yeah. Especially not when they're being shot at.
Like stupid characters and like enemies in this movie, but anyway, yeah, they go to like that Turkish bath, and like Liam Neeson was on them for a little while, and then they like kind of disappear around a corner, and he just guesses really.
Yeah, and he guesses exactly correctly, and runs in, and then like him and like the one of the two remaining guys are just like, let's just have a fist fight like right in the middle of this open Turkish bath.
This is supposed to be like the epic battle of the movie.
And it's basically just a bunch of slapping in extreme close-ups, because it's like whenever someone goes, it's just like slap your fist away. You slap that, or up, and just over and over.
Yeah, and
but shot in about like half-second zoom-in shaky frame shots, so you don't really know what's happening.
Yeah, kind of.
Honestly, I don't know how that guy died. I know he had like a little knife, but I don't know if that was used to kill him. It was basically like he's laying down and Liam Neeson's here, and then Liam Neeson kind of puts his arm like, "Gah!" There's a dramatic music thing, and then that guy's dead.
Well, no, Liam Neeson flips him, and then I guess he knocks his head on the...
Was he just pushing him down so his neck broke?
Well, he just flipped him on it, and then
but then you just like...
You hear like a crunch, and then like he's just sitting there just like, oh...
And then he just moves his hand across the guy's chest.
He's just like, I'm going to knuckle break your neck. Like, or something. I don't.
It's not as good as the next kill, though. The final kill's the best.
So, anyway, he sees Lenore, and then he decides, he's like, well, where the fuck is that other guy? Because the other guy's just gone. He's just like, we don't know where he is.
So I was like, I'm just going to take this guy's phone of the guy I just killed.
And I was like,
oh, it's ringing from in there. So he walks in, the guy like still has his phone, he's just sitting there, he's like,
hey!
And also they completely then set up for another sequel. Because he's like, look, you came after him because I killed your son. Do you have other sons? He's like, yes, 2. Will they come after me if I kill you? Absolutely. Okay, could I not kill you? Will you just go back? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's like, I'll spare your life if you just,
so he just,
give me your word.
drops his gun and starts walking off. And the other guy picks up the gun and goes to shoot him. And of course, Liam Neeson did not leave a loaded gun. And so when he finds out, the guy's like, all right, so I'm going to kill you. With a face palm.
Epic face palm. It's just like...
Yeah.
And then
it basically just pushes him back, and I'm dead.
And he like hits his head, he's dead. So it's like, yep.
Yep. My back of my head lightly hit that wall. I am now dead. And just like, but he's not even just dead. He's just like, yeah.
That happens in the movie.
And then his daughter passes her driving test, and they go out for ice cream. Roll credits.
And the boyfriend.
Yeah, the boyfriend.
Oh, and it's like, can you please promise not to shoot this one? And it's like, did he ever shoot another boyfriend?
No, I don't think that's the thing that happened.
So, anyway.
So Taken 3 will be the other 2 sons getting revenge. Double revenge. Revenge for their brother and revenge for their father.
Could it be Taken 3 Double Impact? So, yeah. You probably don't need to watch that movie.
No.
If you don't want to get epilepsy.
Don't see Taken 2.
Don't see Taken 2. So anyway, Jerva, Matt, with the Busted Couch. This was our movie vlog of Dread. Not Dread. What the heck? I wish it was Dread. Taken 2. So have fun not watching that. See ya. We'll cut your dick off.
Mm-hmm. In editing.
In editing.